Welcome to Bad at Board Games.
He's bad at board games.
My name's Brad Blake.
And I'm Toph Ferguson.
And we're bad at board games, so you don't have to be.
That is correct.
What are we talking about today, Toph?
Today we are continuing our top 100 games of all times video, but we are sticking to the slots. I was waiting for you to do your bad joke. We're sticking with our slots numbers 20 through... Are we seriously at 20 through 11?
Yeah.
20 through 11. We are almost at our top 10, y'all.
We're back to where you guys might care.
Or maybe not. Not yet.
We've had people unsubscribe because we've been doing these lists.
We are getting there in our list to our top games of all times. And y'all, this has been a hard list to be able to narrow down. Brad is laughing because he is senile at having to put together this list, I think.
Yeah, stick around. So I mean, we're going to get down to our 11. So if you really want to know games that we love right now, this is the time to find out. And what kind of games do you like? Who are you identifying with? More so that when you're watching our reviews, if Toph likes something, you can be like, okay, well, I like these same games. These top 20 that he likes, I like. So when he's recommending a game, you know, that, hey, this might actually be something I'm interested in. And the same with me. You look at my 20, and if those are games that you identify, that you enjoy, that you like, and I say I like a game, you might like it, right? So this is kind of how you can narrow in on influencers that you might like them and you love their hype and you love their personality, like me, or you don't like their personality, like Toph.
Thanks.
And but no matter who it is, you start to understand, like, I have found that I like Board Game Co. and I might like Quackalope and I might like John Gets Games, but you have to understand, you can like their channel, but do you like their games? And they're in the end, we're all kind of making you feel like, go out and buy this game, even though we're not selling stuff, right? So to do the best thing with your money, this is a good list to watch, and our top 10 is a good list to watch, so that you can start to say, like, yes, these are things I like. These are the ones that I like, or you just watch us because I'm an idiot and he's the smart guy.
Or he's bad at board games and I'm bad at board games when Ashby's playing.
Or he's bad at 2-player games.
That's true. That's very true.
If you look at the ones that I win at, they're always 2 players.
Tells you a lot about me. So I say we get started. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea. Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
It's up to you. You want to be first in life?
I'll be first.
Look at that. He made a decision. So you're first. What's your game?
You're telling me who makes the decisions?
Come on.
All right.
You want to be first.
I want to be first. Toph talked about this. It's much better than he said it was. Return to Dark Tower. This is a good game. I struggle with this one a bit. I'm like, is it really in my top 20? Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm kind of like, but it is. It is. I don't feel like it's as good as the original, but I have fond memories, and memory is only 30% accurate or whatever. It's ridiculous how inaccurate our memory really is. But this is a good game. It's nice for a co-op. It's got great components. I went all in on it. The app is implemented well. I still wish what they do in the app, they just had put in the tower like the original one. Honestly, I really, really do wish that.
For those of you who are listening and haven't figured out the description of what this game is yet, this is Return to Dark Tower.
My number 20 is Return to Dark Tower. I think I did say it, but I might have said it fast.
Okay, you may have said it fast.
But it's possible I didn't say it at all.
Well, I'm also sitting here looking at the box, so I see exactly what it is. But
so I like the game. I got all the miniatures. Like I said, I went all in on it. I did not get the other Kickstarter where they added onto it. There's enough in this game that you don't need that. You might want the complexity of the add-on, the first add-on, and it really does make it more complex. Mm-hmm. And I think for the people who like that, it's perfect. And the people who don't like that, you just don't have to play with it. So it's tough enough without it, but it definitely does make it tougher with it.
I like this game. Mm-hmm. I do. I mean, it's in my top 50.
Yep. And I can't say I won't, this is the game I like from Restoration. Mm-hmm. The other ones like the Match, those are hit and miss with people. You either like them or don't, and the Battlers and stuff, and Fireball Island and stuff. But this game, like the original, like this one. So
Yeah, I support that.
that is my number 20.
Excellent. My number 20 is a game that you may absolutely love. Whether you play Big Brother or Little Brother, that's up to you. If I can find it, goodness gracious, it's sitting so far away. That is Jaws of the Lion, Gloomhaven, Little Brother. So Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion is fantastic. I went this route. Brad has all of Gloomhaven, the Big Brother. I went this route solely because so many people were talking about how well it is to learn how to play Gloomhaven through the kind of introductory of the game. Also, because I'm primarily playing this solo, I want to be able to set it up quicker than Gloomhaven has been touted to set up. So this you're opening up a little booklet. Is it as thematic with a little spiral bound book? Maybe not so much, but at the same time, it's a great little solo dungeon crawl game. And so I have really enjoyed this. I have only played it once with another player, and that is with Brad. We played it once together. But outside of that, I've enjoyed playing this by myself. It's just a fun game to be able to pull out. Still takes some time. It's not a quick game necessarily to pull out and play, but I can see why it takes a little bit.
Well, you just have to open the book to the right page. But
so
I bought a table just to be able to play Gloomhaven and leave it out.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that with this.
No.
And it's way cheaper.
Yeah, and it's a much smaller box, so it takes up less real estate on my shelves, which if you, depending on your board game shelves, if you have kind of maxed out the shelves that you have, you understand how much real estate you want to save in game size space. So I like that. Not as much content, but what's in here is a lot for the small little box.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's my number 20, Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion.
Yep. Excellent. So I like this game a lot. This game hurt our brains when we first played it. And it's a game I continue to kind of want to go back to and just play more of it.
I know exactly what it is.
That's Barrage. This was one of my first music videos. If you ever want to go find that short somewhere in the waybacks. But I really, really like this game. It's a good game. Toph got this for me. Christmas or birthday?
I think this one was Christmas.
Yeah, this was a couple years ago or whatever. But like, it's cool. He gets me these games I've never really ever been on my radar. But he finds winners, and so this one was great. I don't know what else to talk about it. We talked about it. You had it in the 30s or the 20s?
30s, I believe. Is where it fit for me.
We talked about it more in depth there if you want to go check that one out. But for time's sake, I'll let this one go. You can go check out our videos on it. Barrage is brutal at 2 players, easier to play at 3 players.
Not easy, just easier to play.
Your brain doesn't hurt as much at 3. How's that? Because your choices get narrowed down because people start picking things and you don't have as many options to try to work your way through.
I don't know if this is saying that we are bad board gamers necessarily, but I don't know if anybody else has had this experience that we had. The first time we played this game, we played it and then we tried to do a first impressions video. We looked like we had been drugged through the mud, physically exhausted.
It was mentally draining. It was mentally draining unlike any game I've ever played. Since then, it's really not been.
No, I don't know what it was about that first game.
But that's why I think it's like when you play it with more than 2 players, your options get funneled, and you don't have to me and Toph like to analyze it before we move, and so it ended up being like chess. We were trying to think so deep into this game. It was easy to learn. I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy, and you think you have all these options and things, and then it's just like the game is tight.
Yeah.
And you don't think it is until you start playing. Like, oh my God, I have no workers. And I had all these, like I have this giant stack of workers and I'm going to be able to do this. And this game's just going to be like flow. And no, it locks your workers down hard.
We should have taken a picture of us at the end of the game because I mean, I don't know what I look like. I know what I felt like and I know what Brad looked like. And it looked like we had battled. I mean, we were exhausted. We were exhausted. I've never had a board game make me feel like that. Yep. It was fantastic.
I wouldn't have thought I bet when we first played it, I wouldn't have thought it was going to be this high on my list. Yeah. But since we've played it since then, it's just like, wow, this is a great game. Yeah. So
excellent.
That's my number 19 is Barrage. If I didn't say the name, Barrage.
Yes. My number 19, Brad has already talked about, and that is Anno 1800. Brad got this for me for my birthday, I believe. This is great. I wish, and I mentioned this earlier in the other video, I need to get a box insert that either I make or I buy that helps with setup. I wish this got to the table so much more than it has, because it's great. Cosmos did a great job with this game. I don't know anything about the video game.
But you have to stack up 150,000 things on top of each other.
Yeah, you got to match them all up. And yeah, setup is not fun. But once you get it set up, the gameplay of this is great. It's a lot of fun. It's a good engine builder. You are trying to not channel, what's the word? Chain things together, taking this, turning it into this to be able to do this. It does that well with this game. You're unlocking extra parts of your tableau that's in front of you on your board. You are getting new characters that are giving you more goals, that are getting you more points. There's so many things and so many pathways to get to what you need. There are tiles that will never be touched in the game when you play a game of this, because there's just so many tiles, that a lot of replayability, I believe, with this game. So I want to play it more. Before we do that, I have to organize it in a way that makes a setup go much faster. Either that or I've got to come over at lunchtime to set it up for game night. One of the two. But that is Anno 1800. That is my number 19.
19 is a good game. So my number 19 we've talked about, and this is actually slipped for me, but it's okay. It's slipped to number 19, right?
Mine slipped a little bit further. Yeah,
but this was in my top 10 before. That's Hive. This is a great game. I don't ever foresee this ever going out of my top 50. I really don't ever see it going out of my top 30, honestly. I could see it slipping because just new stuff is cooler, but this is a great abstract. I would have never bought it if he hadn't bought it first and I played it, and then I bought it immediately. Like, got on my phone, got on Amazon.
Hey, look, I got one too.
Found the carbon version of it, and
which looks way cooler, by the way.
I just like the black and white. And so before I was like, Bugs, I've seen it at Barnes and Noble and other places. I'm like, there is no way I'm getting that. And wow, it's a wow game. What is it, like $20, $30?
Yeah, something like that.
It's a great experience for the money.
Yeah.
So
I think you can pick up on Miniature Market and probably Game Nerds and others the Pocket Edition for like $18. Yeah. And I would say that is perfectly fine. I've thought about picking that up to be able to take on the road, take to other.
And I just don't think this is that big that I need a smaller version of it. But the Pocket version, you probably can put in a coat or your pocket. Literally, you can put it in your pocket. So that's Hive. That's my number 19. It's dropped a whopping 9 points.
Yeah. But it's still fantastic.
It is.
I want to play it like right now. Can we pause the video? Just play it. Playthrough of Hive. Excellent. That was your 18?
Yep.
My 18 is a game that I should have played a long time ago, because this is right up my alley for the exact games that I like to play. I'm so glad Brad picked it up, and now his wife is fantastic at it, and Brad's probably never going to win again. This is the Castles of Burgundy Euro game, straight true to exactly what a Euro game is supposed to be. The ugliest board you will ever see, and the most fun tactical play in kind of really Euro game fashion. You are limited in some of the things you can do, which is great. You can only get so many tiles to bring onto your board before you place them. You've got options of what you can do on the board. It's a drafting mechanic that works well. So you can really play to your own strength. You don't play on somebody else's board, but you might be able to block somebody from taking a tile that they absolutely need to be able to get maximum points. And at the same time, you're really building up your own points in your board itself. Tile laying is a definite aspect of this game, but there's so much more in the thought of building out what it is that you are doing than just laying the tiles. Tile placement matters, but it's really the engine building side of it is really the getting the points and making it as efficient as you possibly can to be able to play. That's what I like about this game. Not incredibly long to play.
Not too bad at all.
A little bit of a setup. It's also thousands of chits, but not quite as bad as something like Anno 1800 in terms of setting up. So.
Or Tiletum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's good.
A lot of fun and a little box. And I don't know where it is on your list. I'm sure it's probably
haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah, I'm saying it's probably coming up soon.
It won't go too far away.
So that is my number 18, The Castles of Burgundy.
Number 18. So my number 17, Toph already talked about. I think it's better. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I'm curious what it is.
The Guild of Merchant Explorer, and I got it right.
Almost. It's Explorers.
Whatever.
Anyway, close.
The Guild. It's the worst board game name ever.
It is not the worst.
The worst name ever.
Brad
it is way too long. So anyway, Merchant Explorers would have been a much better name.
No, the Guild of Merchant Explorers is perfect. You guys did a good job naming it.
Yeah. Anyway, AEG made a couple of really good games this year. Really like it. And this is a great game. I don't care for it solo. And it is solo. It's multiplayer solitaire.
Yeah.
But it's a fun multiplayer solitaire. It just is. It really, really is. And because you have that competition that I want to be able to get more points than you. And it's better than just trying to get 100 points because you're playing the solo version. Yeah. So you're trying to be more efficient and do what you can. And the card that flips is never the card that you want and things like that. So
never the card that you want.
But this is a very good game. I'm pretty sure you can get it under $50 now. I highly recommend it. I think you highly recommend it.
Yes.
But it's not a euro, but it is a euro.
It's a euro. I would call it a euro.
But it's not a hard. I don't know. It's not this to get this to the.
It's not a resource driven euro game.
Yeah. But it's not Ameritrash or any of these other things. So it's unique, I think, in what it does.
Yeah. It's not competitive. It's definitely something that you're going for points in various ways. Mm-hmm. And you're also building out these pathways and ways to make your next plays more efficient as opposed to competitive play with somebody else.
And the cards that you get are make you feel powerful, and they're going to be completely different than your opponents. Yeah. Which is cool. Yeah. So that's probably what really makes it sing. Mm-hmm. So that is my number 17, the Guild of Merchant Explorers.
Excellent.
Something like that.
You got the last one right. That might be your first time ever. My number 17, Brad's already talked about. All of these games we're both going to have been talked about. For the most part, we're all going to have talked about. My number 17 is a great worker placement, just beautiful action game. And also a really good game to introduce to new players that may not have been in the hobby. And that is Viticulture by Stonemaier Games. I really, whether it's the base game or I do prefer it with the Tuscany expansion, whether you're playing just the base game or you're adding in a little bit more complexity with the full 4 seasons of the Tuscany expansion and a little bit of the area control aspect as well, this is just a beautiful, straight, solid game. Especially solo, I like this version, I think, more than playing with the expansion. I do need to bring the expansion over for Brad to be able to play. I have enjoyed all of my playthroughs of this game. It is chill and relaxing for the most part, although we kind of got into it a little bit with the last gameplay that we had in our gaming group. With tension. A little bit
everybody's trying to get tension. The same things. Yeah,
it's definitely not
it's not take that. Or
no,
anything.
Not at all. But it's worker placement. So you are fighting to get into places to be able to do what you need to do, and it's a chill, relaxing game. I like that. You are building out your winery. And so you are working in ways to make I don't want to call it an engine, but your gameplay more efficient, to be able to do more. And that's a very good aspect. I love how he incorporated the wine theme. You're not playing with these little physical grapes, but the idea of putting them into your mash tuns and then being able to send them out to make wine, put that into your storehouses. I like that. I like how he did that. I like how the various cards, and we haven't even played with all the expansions to see the different way the cards play, but I love how they're coming out. They're all different. It's allowing you to have replayability in the game. Whether you play solo, I think it goes up to 5 or 6 players. I think it's 6 players, which is ironic or unusual for games to be able to play. This is great at all player counts. So I really do enjoy it. It's been around for a long time, and it's high on list for a reason. I definitely highly recommend the game.
I think it was in my 20 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a very good worker placement game.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those themes like Wingspan. I was like, I like this theme much better than Wingspan's theme. but it's not a game necessarily to get just because like this theme wows me, but it fits the theme very well. And he's done a great job with it. So there's a reason why it's on my top 20. Absolutely love it. Pick it up if you've never played it. Please get an opportunity to play it if you like worker placement. That is Viticulture, my number 17.
Yep. So my number 16 on the hotness, real new, come up here with a bullet. I kind of had to like slow it down. Actually, I pushed it back to 16. It's somewhere. That's Heat. I've gotten a lot of games of this in, and half of them are solo, half of them are with people, and we've talked about this as a game group. We're probably going to do the championship like once a month. This is good. This really, really is a good game, and it deserves all the hype. The designers deserve some amazing praise. I think it makes you feel like a race, and then even if you don't like racing, it's kind of like you get into that. If you were a kid and you ever raced on the playground, right? Like you get this, like there's something about it, right? And you have that with this. They bottled it. They've, are there more complex racing games? Yes, but it doesn't necessarily make you feel like you're racing because they're overly complex. And so they've done this great job of this push your luck, and yeah, you can go for it, and you may or may not, benefit from going for it. But when you do, it's like, oh, that's awesome. And, and it's all about the corners, and, the AI is easy to play. Like once you learn the AI, you flip a card, and in 30 seconds, you can move. If I'm playing against the other 5 AIs, you can move them all and get them done in 30 seconds. You're done. And then you keep going. Like, you're not looking up charts. You're not having to figure things out. It is the easiest AI I've ever experienced.
Yeah. I've played a lot of games solo against an AI. Absolutely. Brad is spot on. It's simple to play, and it's simple to learn. It's not like Scythe, I think, has a pretty easy AI, but you have to learn it. It takes a while to learn it, and then it's easy to play.
Yeah. So it doesn't say there's solo rules. So I've got some. Go watch our video if you want to get a deep dive about this.
We disagree greatly on this,
but it doesn't say solo anywhere in the book. It calls them.
It does. It's part of the Legends section of the game.
So when you're looking for solo, look for Legends. Let's start. And then in there it says you can play this solo. You can. It doesn't say you.
So
it's the only way to play solo. It is the only way to play solo.
Comprehension is an important thing that Brad will learn at some point in his education.
When you're looking for titles and you don't see solo anywhere in the index, appendix, or as you're looking to try to find solo, you have to read the whole thing to find in the paragraph it says solo. That is not right.
Or you read the rules straight through as they're written. They're organized right.
The advanced rules show that in there.
You see it. It says Legends, which is the advanced rules, and it's right there.
When's the last time solo's been in advanced rules? Every rule book, I guarantee you, every other rule book I have has the end at the first book, not the second book, and not halfway in the middle, tells you where the solo is. Every one of them.
Let me tell you a secret about reading rules. It's like a book, because it is a book, and it's words, and they're one right after the other, and they make sentences, which makes paragraphs. And if you read them, you'll learn.
Anyway, we got to keep moving on. That is Heat, Pedal to the Metal is my number 16. Excellent. And I think it's going to be higher next year.
I do too.
I think it's quite possible.
On my list, it's going to be higher, yeah. My number 16, Brad has already talked about. This is Resurgence, a new game that has come out, and the reason I think why this is placed so high, we were talking about this, is because there is a beauty to this game that I absolutely do enjoy in terms of how the mechanics work. And while I haven't played it a whole lot, I want to play this a whole lot. I want to explore more of unlocking my bunker and trying to figure out how to be as efficient as I can with my bunker. And at the same time, the worker placement aspect of this, it's great. It's not every worker you have can go everywhere. You're limited to certain players can go to certain places. That's great. The fact that you have to pay more if somebody else, including a zombie, is on that spot, fantastic. They've just done such a good job with this game. I really do enjoy it. It's not a game that was on my radar because I don't do Kickstarter type stuff, so I was never watching out for this. And Brad said, hey, it's arrived. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And then we played it and I was like, okay, I see. I see. It's great. They've done a great job with it. I don't think the setup's too bad. It's a bag builder
The setup's
game.
not bad at all. It's small. I mean,
yeah. There's some components to it. But we've enjoyed it. And there's a lot, I think, of replayability because your goals that are coming out, things that you were doing, it's a stack of cards and you're only pulling a few from it. So that helps it to be a game that I can see we want to pull out more and more.
Yeah, I'm surprised this is this high on your list. It's a good game, and I think that I'm trying to figure out, is it going to go up or down? Or I don't know if it's going to go down. Is it going to go up or stay where I had it? I think I had it at 40. So I'm glad you liked it this much.
Yeah.
I mean, this says a lot that where this is in his list.
Yeah. I will be honest and say I don't know if I see this getting closer to 1 because
but in
of
your
where
top 20 is.
But it's in my top 20 and it's good. It's a solid game.
It is. It's an absolute solid game. It's tight.
Yeah. This was one of the surprises of 2022 for me in terms of games that we played. Yeah. Yeah, it's worker placement. Why wouldn't I like it? I mean, let's be honest. I have been known once or twice to enjoy a worker placement game.
All worker placement, all day, all time.
Yes. So that's my 16. That is Resurgence.
Awesome. My next game is another one of those I've played. It's one of my top played games ever.
Terraforming Mars.
Hadrian's Wall. So this is the best flipping right out there, hands down. Twilight Inscription doesn't touch it. This is really, really good, and it's a lot of fun. Now, I've played it enough times, it's not as much fun as it used to be, but like the chaining and doing things, you get in this mode and you get into doing it, and it's a little bit mostly multiplayer solitaire.
It's 100% multiplayer.
Yeah, but you still have to use some other people's stuff. And
that's true.
Unlike the Guild of Merchant Explorers, this one I enjoy solo. I don't feel, even though it's just how high of a score could you get, there's something about this one that doesn't make me feel like that. I still feel like I'm playing the game with a bunch of people. So it is multiplayer solitaire, but at the same time, I don't know how it goes about it, but just the back and forth and the enjoying of playing. If you're playing with the full complement of 6?
Yeah, I think it's 6.
You need a few more wooden pieces. We kept having to wait for a few more wooden pieces to go back to the center of the table as we were playing with 6 people. But
we started subbing out with other items that were blue
but this is a really, really good game. If you haven't had a chance, don't be intimidated by the teach, and Meeple University, I think, has the best teach on it. And it's a really good game.
Yeah, I agree. This is a fantastic game, and you may see it pop up on my list. So maybe I'll talk about it, in a couple minutes.
This is my number 15, Hadrian's Wall.
Excellent. My number 15 is not on Brad's list, and that is Blood Rage.
I wanted to love this game.
You did.
I wanted to.
I hope that you will play it again, which I think you will.
Oh, we will. Yeah.
Our gaming group has enjoyed this. At least I think they did. We played this as a gaming group, and it seemed like we all enjoyed it. Brad was playing another game while some other of us were playing Blood Rage. I think we will be playing this as a gaming group, and this has spurred me on because I played Ankh first. Brad owns Ankh. I bought this for myself for my birthday, and then now, having played it, I enjoy this more than Ankh. I want to play Rising Sun. We've mentioned that already in some of these videos. I want to play it. I want to see what it's like. I like the theme. I like how they did it. The minis are fantastic, but of course it's CMON. You're going to have fantastic minis with it. I was intimidated. Not intimidated. I was unsure of whether or not I would like this because it's area control and I don't like conflict. And so I thought maybe I would not like this game. And I think part of why I was ready for this game is because we played Inish. And Inish, while it's also area control, was done in such a way that I didn't feel like I was overwhelmed, anxious, and hating life. I enjoyed it. And so when we played this one, I definitely enjoyed it. I don't think it clicked for you. And I think it will more as we play it. But I definitely do enjoy this game a lot more than I thought I would. It was one of those, I bought it for myself thinking it would be an okay game and we might like it. turns out I love it. It's a very good game. So that is my number 15, Blood Rage.
It's high on a lot of people's lists.
For good reason.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The next one, I guess the reason I'm talking about these is some of these are like my most played games. And they're most played not just because they're easy to get out, but like I actually like them. But a lot of people like them, so it makes it easy. Long Shot the Dice game. This came out this year. I didn't kickstart it, but I found out about it, and I'm like, okay, Barnes & Noble has it. I'm going to go get it. And this was like the last copy they had. This is a really good game. This is another one like, and it's racing, but it's like you're betting, and there's some take that and not. There's all kinds of things that go along with this, and you get these mini games that are going on within it, and it's fun, and it doesn't take a long time to play. You know, you can play up to what, 8 players?
Yeah.
8 players, so our whole gaming group can play it at the end of the night. We can play it 1 or 2 times. Super Mega Lucky Box is an easy, cheaper version, but then it's got some of that in it with you're getting stuff, and you get tic-tac-toes, and then it lets you unlock stuff to go better or do some take that. It's just got all these little things going on with it, and it's cute and fun, and it's got replayability because it's got a bunch of different horses that you can bet on in different races, and those give you other powers. So that is my number 14. I've played a lot. And
I did not put this on my top 100, but I do enjoy this game a lot. I almost bumped it up after I did my rankings because I do enjoy it. We've played it just 2-player. I enjoy that. I do enjoy it more with more players. That definitely is a little bit more fun. It's a lot of fun. And, I think something speaks to this game is that every time I go to Barnes & Noble, I always see the slot where this game is supposed to be, and it's always sold out. I was in Barnes & Noble last night, and I just happened to walk past board games because I've been known to like a board game or two. And this was there, and they had 3 copies of it. And I was almost like, do I add it to my collection? I did not, but I thought about it. But the fact that they had it in like a year's time, they've not had it stocked. It's selling out. People are liking it. I think it's a solid game.
Yeah, it's another one I call it kind of my party games. And like I said, you'll see peppered throughout all my lists a filler game. And this one, I have my stepdaughter wanting to play this. I have people just wanting to play it because they enjoy it. So It's a great game.
I concur. I'm glad it's on. I'm glad you have it on yourself. I'm glad it's on your list.
It's Long Shot the Dice game, and that's my number 14.
Yes. My number 14 is a game that I picked up, and Brad wanted to be cool like me, so he picked it up as well. In reality, we wanted to be as cool as Aisha and her sister. I think it's her sister's game. This is Brad's copy, and he has not even taken it out of Shrink. So this is, gosh, it's heavy. Tekenhu, Obelisk of the Sun. Fantastic tea game. I love so many aspects of this game. It's complex, and at the same time, I think it's playable by a lot of people at various different playabilities. There's just a lot going on. A rondel, dice, action selection aspect, and that is constantly changing. So you have to be aware of what's going on, when it's going on, and then how you're using the different gods' abilities, depending on if you want to, build your buildings or, buy new cards to add into your abilities, your play hand. There's so many things that are here that's just really good with the game that they have done well. Sometimes you get games that have so many aspects, so many mechanics, and it's just too much going on. I don't think this is too much. I think they've done it well. I thought I'd be a little overwhelmed by it the first time as we're playing through, but you pick up on it pretty quickly. So I think it's one that you may enjoy. Definitely think it stands up to the T games. And I'm definitely falling in love with the T games the more that we play of them.
Yeah,
so.
it's in Shrink because we've played other open versions. And I haven't played my version yet, but I'm like, I have to have it. I have to have it. I'll get it open and played too, but it's a great game.
It is.
You're gonna get annoyed with us. Keep saying like we're board and dice fanboys, but
there's a reason why.
Yeah, we like those games.
Yeah, it's a good one. So that is my number 14, Tekenhu, Obelisk of the Sun.
So my number 13 is, I say this is the best gateway game for Euro games. So once you're trying to get into that next level of gaming, and weight difficulty.
I know what it is because I've talked about it already.
You have. And
Yes.
The box lid fell over.
Oh, sorry.
Castles of Burgundy. Won't go into it too much since we've already talked about it, but I have gone not all in, although I did add on to it
Did you?
with the Kickstarter. I have not bought all the 3D miniature tiles. I didn't do that.
Why not?
That even I was like, no, there's miniature castles, but there's not the everything's not going to be miniaturized. I stopped myself there. So Castles of Burgundy, the Kickstarter that's coming from Awakened Realms, because I like pretty, is much prettier than this, but stick with the $50. If you like the $50, then worry about buying something more expensive later. But I play this a lot. My wife loves this game. She's brutal at it, and we'll continue to go from there. But I've said it before. It's an ugly hero. It is. And this is the prettier version of the ugly hero. Awakened Realms version is actually pretty and does this game the justice aesthetically that the mechanics do to it. And there's a reason this has been around forever and why it is a classic and why it is one of the top games in BGG's 100. This is
Fantastic.
If you're looking to try a Euro game, try this. The teach and instructions are, and Rodney talks too fast through his. So if you're going to watch Rodney's version of that, realize
Watch
you're going
it
to
a couple
stop,
times.
back up.
Yeah.
You go. He talks a little fast through this one.
It's such a good game.
It is a great game. Castles of Burgundy is my number 13.
Where was that for me? Oh, that's on this list.
Yeah, you're in the. You just talked about it.
I just talked about it just a couple minutes ago. Excellent. So my number 13 is going to start putting Vital Lacerda on the list.
From here to number 1.
Welcome.
Oh, we
to
haven't
Vital.
played 10 Lacerdas.
Yeah, we have not played 10 of his games yet. Although you have another one that just arrived.
I did, but that's a light. Lacerda light.
And still the Lacerda game. It'll be fun. So this is, did I get it standing upright? Yes, the Gallerist. Gosh, I love his game so much. Building up an engine is not always an easy thing to do in games. This, I would say, is of the Lacerda games the lightest that we have played so far.
So far.
Yeah. I have another game that's slated to be a little bit lighter, but it's a very different play style. And that is, we haven't played it yet. It's on my shelf of shame.
Escape.
Escape Plan. And so I'm looking forward to that one as well. It's very different. I know there's a lot of controversy. Some people really do not like it when they like his other games. But this one is nice. The artwork is fantastic. The artwork. It's all artwork. The artwork is fantastic in it, in all of Eagle Griffin games. Fantastic quality. This one just, the play works. You know, worker placement. Where are you playing your places? Where are you taking your people? How are you moving people around the board? Are you having them buy artwork? Are you building up the artwork to do something special that's in your tableau? So many different aspects of the game that all flow together in a beautiful way. I do not think this was an overly difficult game to learn. I know some of his games are much more difficult to learn. Like I said, this is a little bit lighter weight of a game. I enjoy it greatly. It does have a solo play. I have not yet learned the solo rules. I kind of overlooked those when learning the game because I was learning it so that we could play together. Ashby, Brad, and I played together. It is good. If you're looking to get into heavier weight worker placement, engine building games, this is definitely one that I would say look out for. I think it's a good one. So this is The Gallerist by Vital Lacerda, published by Eagle Griffin Games. Huge box. Fantastic components.
Yeah. I wish they were a little short. They don't stand up in the calyx. It's a dumb complaint. But
yeah, they do not.
These are all of them are that size.
Yeah, but they're so good.
They're
it's
good.
Worth the size,
and the quality is amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's hands down some of the best quality in-board games that I've.
Yeah, it is. You pay for it, but you get what you pay for. Mm-hmm. So my next one is Board and Dice Fanboy Time. So I like this one the best so far. Terracotta Army. Got this year as well. I really like this game. I don't even know how to explain it. I just really like it. I like it better than Tekhenu. I know it's probably not. I don't know if it's where it is on yours, but You know, I like this better in Tile Tone. I think I might always like. I like the rondel, the selection. There's 3 different levels to the rondel, and they go in opposite directions. There's a lot I like about this, and then you play in this other game, which is kind of the long game with the statues and what they are. There's individual round goals, and they increase exponentially per round. So do you give up one round to not get those points to then try to make sure you solidify the second, the third, or fourth ones, you know, without a doubt. But then you also have to start worrying about your statues in the grid and where they go and how they score these great endpoint game things, right? So there's a lot I like about this game.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to say fantastic from here on out on every game that we have, but
this was these really got, honestly, like when I hit it 15-1, it was like, what's in the top 10?
Yeah.
It was like older or newer, or how do I draw, you know, like you love some of your older games, so how do you just kick those out because it's the new guy?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. This is a great game.
Yeah, and it's definitely not gotten the praise it should have. Tiletum is, but like they kept saying like, well, this isn't a T game. Okay, it's not the same designer, but this holds a candle, if not, in my opinion, better than some of the other ones. So I don't know why it's kind of gotten like this. You know, it's good to beat on this one. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. You know, is it a T game? I would say no, just because T games, from what I understand, is
certain designers.
Yeah, Daniel Tashini. That's his games. But this is, it's also not a location. It's an item. You know, there's all these different ways that they define them. I don't know exactly what that is. But the mechanics of this game, if you look at the game side by side on a table, this is straight on par with at least the T games that we have played.
And it's not a copy. This designer created his own game.
Yeah.
His own Euro. It's very nice.
Yeah. This is great.
So Terracotta Army is my number 12.
Excellent. So my number 12, we have actually already talked about because it's on Brad's list on this list. And that is Hadrian's Wall.
Thought you were going to get Terracotta Army.
No, it's not Terracotta Army. This is Hadrian's Wall. This is the most complex roll and write or flip and write game that I've played. Brad hates on Twilight Inscription. I'm not going to hate on Twilight Inscription.
I don't hate. Question. I don't hate on Twilight Inscription. This is better.
Yes.
That's
okay.
That's
I agree
the thing.
with that.
I'm like, Twilight Inscription I think is a little long.
Okay.
And I wanted it to be as good as this. And it's not as good as this. It's not that it's bad. So there's a big difference.
That's
It's kind of like, do you like Porsches or Ferraris? Both are amazing. Which one do you like better? You know?
Okay. I will take back my statement. But I will say, when we played it, there were a lot of comments of negativity for Twilight Inscription. And the biggest one was, it takes way too long to play. This is much shorter than Twilight Inscription.
This is an hour.
This is an hour, maybe a little bit less. This I do think is more complex than Twilight Inscription as well. This game, I have not worn out any plays of this yet. I find this fantastic. I want to play it. I always want to play it. I want to play it so much that I went ahead and bought myself a copy, and I have started playing it solo at home. Yeah, I haven't told you that yet. But yeah,
I don't want to tell my friend I bought a game that he.
Actually, it's not that I didn't want to tell him. I just forgot to tell him that I bought it, and then it came in, and I started playing.
We're game
solo.
shaming over here.
Yeah.
You bought that?
So I like it solo. The rules change a little bit when you play solo. You just got to remember to pull out the other players' cards to be able to have people that you can play against. Yeah. But I have not found the end of the game. Like, I have not played all the mini games on the second sheet, not your fort side, but the other side where you have your citizen tracks and everything. I haven't played all of them yet. Like, I have played it so many times now, and I have not explored the end of this flip and write game. That's something I think that's important with this. You don't have to know how to play everything to be able to sit down and play it and really enjoy it and win at it. And there's still more for me to explore. And I've played it so many times that I want to play more, but I haven't done it yet. Like,
and it's a bunch of papers, right? And I have played many games with 5, 4, and 1, 6, and myself 1, and so I still have I'll have more paper. I don't think I'll ever run out of the papers that are in this.
Yeah,
like,
I think
you don't have to worry about like, oh, there's enough. Trust me, there's enough. Unless you're playing 6 players every day,
yeah,
then you might run out. But
but at that point in time, you have enjoyed the game so much that you are willing to give another however many. I mean, I think
$50.
Retail is 50. I got mine on sale, but you are willing to pay that again to benefit the designers of the game. Like I wondered when he first opened, I was like, oh my goodness, we're gonna have to laminate some of these to play them. No, we're never gonna run out of the sheets. Yeah, so love it. It is great. I agree with Brad's comment that if you're gonna play it at 6 players, you're gonna probably want more pieces because you are moving the individual pieces around so much, taking them into your pool, using them and throwing them back into the master pool that you're going to run out of some pieces that 6 player. I've never seen that one at 2 or 3.
No, not even at 5. But it was interesting. It was the first time we ever had it happen with 6.
Yeah. So absolutely love it. Fantastic game, solo or with other players. Definitely is multiplayer solitaire, but whether you're playing solo or with other players, it's just, gosh, I love it. I just want to keep playing it out. And it's a thinky game. It's a flipping right, but it's a thinky game. So that is mine. We're going to say something else about it.
No, I was just going to say, I've got a playthrough of it. It's not a massive score or anything, but if you want to try to beat my score, I'd love to know. Go watch it. If you don't want to watch the playthrough, watch how to see what the score is and see if you can beat it and comment on it. That'd be pretty cool.
It's funny that in all of my solo plays, I have yet to be anywhere near my high scores. Like when we play together, a bunch of people, I am scoring up in the 70 plus.
Yeah.
And solo, I have yet 56 is the highest score I've played solo. And there's no reason why it should be that way. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
maybe it's because I'm trying the other tracks. Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, that is my number 12, Hadrian's Wall.
You're 12. So we're at my 11. So this one, I was struggling. Is this number 10 or is this number 11? It came out this year. We've talked about it. And it's one of our early YouTube subscribers, and he won one of our contests. And so I'm like, am I picking this because like, is there subliminally some stuff going on with this or not? And like, it's just a solid game. Ryan, you've done an amazing job with a game. Not quite on my top 10 yet. Planet Unknown. This is easy to teach, simultaneous play, polyomino. When I don't like polyomino, and you get these tech tree tracks, and you've got a bunch of maps for replayability. It plays up to 5 players.
I think
6. Plays up to 6 players, and because you're playing certain aspects simultaneously, it doesn't take forever. Wow, thank you.
And you can play with symmetric boards if you're especially playing at the easier levels or with new players, or go into the asymmetry, the asymmetric board. Ryan Lambert, double thumbs up.
You guys knocked it out of the park with this one. I wish you all the success, and I know you're working on the next one, and I'm hoping,
I can't
things
wait.
continue to grow for you.
Yeah, let us know as soon as it's about to come out because we're going to be ready for it.
We'll have to pay him this time.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
We'll pay you.
Definitely supporting you because you have done fantastic games. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So Planet Unknown, my number 11. I know it was like at the beginning of the year is kind of when it finally started hitting, through the Kickstarters and stuff. So, at the end of the year, it's lost some of its buzz because you got Heat and all these other like the Christmas launch ones, right? But this one should still be around. And if you haven't heard about it, go check it out and see what you think.
I put it at 27 and I kind of feel bad about that because I do love it so much. It's just so hard. There's so many good games that we have on our lists. But that's one of the games that I've rated. I always want to play it. Like I always want to recommend it. I always want to play it.
And it's and I say I like medium plus games, and that's solidly medium to medium light. And I still like it. Like, that's when it's a good game. Is like when it's not quite in your wheelhouse and you still want to play it.
Mm-hmm. So that's his number 11.
That's my number 11, Planet Unknown.
And my number 11 is a game that we've already discussed in this list. And that is Terracotta Army.
I'm actually surprised this is higher than Tekkenu for you.
Okay, so
I
let's
really
talk
didn't
about
think
that
it
for
was.
a minute.
I almost thought he liked Tileton better and Takenu better than this.
So I started with Pub Meeple's rankings, and I missed a bunch of games in the rankings when I did it initially, but that's fine because most of them are not high up on the list. There were a couple that should have been, but or may have been in the upper range of the list, but and I don't know what happened with that. I don't know with the sync from BGG, and I don't know what happened. When I ranked my rankings, this was not as high as Toletum or Tekenhu. But because of the number of plays, I know solidly where this is falling, and I'm a little bit like, I think I like Tekenhu and Tiletum. I'm almost definite. I will say I like Toletum better than Terracotta Army, but we haven't played it enough, and I don't know if it's a new game hype, or is it actually, it's the mechanics why I like the game. So I'm confident, or at least I'm fairly confident that that's exactly how it's going to rank. And Tekenhu, the same thing. I think it's going to rank higher the more that we play it. Regardless, I did move them down just because of that a little bit on the listings, and this stayed in the slot that it was, minus those couple games that were above it. This is fantastic. You know, the rundell in this, I don't necessarily like as well as I do in Tekenhu or in Toletum. I think I like the rondel action a little bit more in those ones. I think part of that's because I'm old and I have a hard time seeing, and there's a lot of very small things in this game that you have to look at. I love this theme so much. I used to live in China. The Chinese theme, seeing it throughout it, seeing the Terracotta Army and how important that is to China's history is great to be seen brought into a game that it works in, that it works well in. I like that aspect of it a whole lot. I don't like the rondel aspect of it as much. So there's various aspects of the game. There's parts why I like this more than others, and parts why I like the other games more than I do this one. I'm not going to compare it as not a T game or as a T game, just on par with all the games. This is solid. It's fantastic. I love it. I do. I absolutely love it.
It's good.
Yeah. And Brad talked about, the different aspects of it. I do like the end game. And so I have not done as good, surprisingly, as Brad has in terms of the 4 different goals and how how they increase in value as you go through the different ages or the different years of the game. Brad has done a better job of that, but I've definitely done, I think, a better job of building out the statues and kind of some of the points that you can get from that.
And still lost.
I've also won. Hello. We are, I think, fairly evenly matched with this game. I think we are. But it's great. Fallen in love with board and dice. This might be the game that made me say, yes, board and dice games are so good. But Terracotta Army, you've done a fantastic job at this game. I love it a lot. So that's my number 11.
That's number 11. I'm going to mention one that missed so this is outside of the list. It didn't make the list because I forgot to sort it.
Okay.
So, and Wonderland's War. I meant to talk about it on our, before our 50, because it's in the top 50. I don't know where it is. It's definitely not this high, but I wanted to let you know, that's a good game. I didn't like the hype, and I was anti it, and I thought it was going to be too easy. I don't like it at 2 players. I do like it with 3 or 4. That is one stipulation I will say with it. I hated it 2. I didn't.
That's strong.
I know you liked it.
I didn't think you hated it.
I didn't like it at 2. I didn't want to play it. I'm I don't think this game's for me, but I'm going to give it another chance. And when I got it to 3 or 4, it just makes such a difference for me, because he can run away with things and I can't catch it. And then we've talked about it. You get steamrolled, it's not fun.
Yeah. So, and I think that's part of. And then
you don't get steamrolled because you have other players. Everybody's watching out for different things, and they can somebody may catch something you miss.
That's a
when
very
you're
good
playing multiple players in a game like that.
Yeah, I think that's part of why you didn't like Blood Rage, because I did kind of steamroll over you. Not that was my intention, but
no, but it was just that's what happened. And it was okay, well,
yeah,
I can't come back and win.
I mean, was it Blood Rage? Yeah,
it was Blood
and there's
Rage.
been a few different games that we've had that way that I feel like you've or me, either way. And not saying that
well,
it's
we've
just
talked about that with Radlands. It wasn't fun for you to get steamrolled by me.
Yes, exactly.
Consistently.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not fun. And so you don't, it's not fun for me to steamroll somebody, and it's not fun to get steamrolled. It really does. You know, and you have to watch that with your players. So I'm sorry, I'm talking dad's shit.
I broke his heart, apparently. Steamrolled over him with some games.
So anyway, if you like this list, if these things you're interested in, let us know. See who you kind of identify with. Even though you may like Toph better, did you like some of my games better? Because you like, for whatever reason, right? We do have some crossover going on here, right? But some swing, you know, more to heavy on his, and I've got some of the lighter and some of the filler games sprinkled in between. You know, what do you guys think?
Yeah, we'd love to know. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'd love to have you come along for the ride. We'd love to have you joining us at our table. So thank you guys so much for sticking with us through this list, numbers 20 through 11 of our favorite games of all times as of January 2023.
And no matter how you play, whether it's solo, with family, or friends,
enjoy whatever games you are bringing to the table.
have a great night.